Alright. Let's launch. Okay. What's the date? I need to check on that. Well, let's get started, fam.
Mr. Diddy.
Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, breathe, breathe, then drink. Now grab your glass for that water. Get your container of that water. Lift that container of that water. Simply pour that water. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now move your body and drink some water. Stretch your body, drink some water. Oh. Move your body, drink some water. Bam. Just move your body. Come on now. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, move, then drink. Now, raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, raise, toast, then drink. Take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, lift, move, toast. Come on now. Stay healthy though. Breathe, drink, eat, move. Get some sleep. Culturally appropriate, of course. But hey, take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Drink up. Drink, 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 drink. Drink, 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 drink. Drink your water. Family, it is good to be with you this morning. Of course, y'all know we're going to have our Imani Toast and Talk for anybody that's out there that want to call in. Of course, y'all know the lines is 614-556-4535. I will hold off and call in after we get done with the toast because you know the toast could take a little while. I'm only using water right now. You, on the other hand, could have your other health drinks because remember the basic rules. We start off by hydrating ourselves. That's with water. Right now, I got some distilled water in a copper container. And then we usually, when we do our toast, we use a health drink. I usually use ambrosia, but because my fast is demanding water, I'm in the water period right now. Actually, it's the last day of water only. So tomorrow I will be moving in. I'll be able to have my broths. I'll be able to have my juices. And yeah, because I'm on day 14. I'm on day 14. Family, we doing it. We doing it. Still got some struggles, but we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. So in 7 more days, I'll be able to join y'all with some food and you know, some stuff like that. But up until then, you know, cause I got to weigh myself and see where I'm at far as how much I done lost. Last time I looked, I was at 160. So I will test tomorrow morning on Emoja to start off this next week. I also will get some of my the drinks prepared so that I could, you know, because I'm really looking forward to it, boy. But you know, by the time I think by the time we get to the G&J Mall, I should be almost totally back to my well, actually, my fighting weight is about 168. Right? That's my high school. That's my high school graduation, all the way through college, all the way through my 20s, about 168. So I weigh about 176 now. I'm 51 years old. So my actual fighting weight is about 168. So I'm about 8 pounds off of my fighting weight. But of course, you know, as you age, you get different, you know. So I don't know where I'm going to end up this time. Last year I got down to low as 140. But you know, it was a little bit more extreme. But anyway, so let's go and do this toast. I will open the call-in lines after we get done with the toast. First, giving honor to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call the Creator. We lift up our glass, we salute that Creator, and we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move to our list of our illustrious ancestors. And here we go. We call on Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert the Texan, Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilly, George and William Walter, Christopher Petty, Gaston, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland and Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallard, Montague Pittman, No More X, Pet Mott, Rob Malika Pacour, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Daniel Pulliam, the Luxor Brothers, Bezita Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kill Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mae Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend Jane Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kelly D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge, Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Weather, Be the Farmer, Ago Sosu, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keachler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mae Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quails, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quails, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Dorita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hanny Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martinier, Elder Amatet Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Delma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey and Eleanor Howe, Franklin Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Pina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Delimon Aries, Gina Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigella Paris, Elder Basiji Fulani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DeFridas Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scatterberry, Wilson Headley, Alma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Kevin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbert Longmire, Edith Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nalon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Daniel Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensenball, Hazel Gatson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parson, Jason Cathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word I, Stacy Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavers, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula, Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimmel Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie, Harriet Tubman Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Viola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Nellie Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Cofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Hairston, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Alice Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Erleton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staton, Joe, Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Remy Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Dan Irvin, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Irvin Sr., Michael Irvin, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, John Reed, Shechem Aha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Louis Fernandez, Jacqueline Rodriguez, Reginald Oliver, Mazarin Cooper, George Swan, Imani Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. On to our Black Book. We got Joella Giles, James Carswell, Liberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shane Lewis, Ronald Sheldon Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Kundle, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jamonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McHale, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clayton, Leonard Jones, Sade Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Denise Goray, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid Essien, Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flint, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gatt, Jarifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols, Ruth Elaine Johnson, and Teresa Sambu. We lift up our glass to our illustrious ancestors and we salute them and we say, Ashe. From their family, we move to the present moment and we keep this moment sacred. We keep this moment powerful by keeping our pact with our past as well as our pact with our future generations. We lift up our glass and we salute this moment. In this moment right now, we are in Imani. So I'm asking everybody to activate that reticular formation, right? And seek out Imani. We hunting down Imani. We want it alive, not dead. We not looking dead up. We want it alive. We want live images of Imani, right? Where is it popping off at? How is it happening? Is it happening in your family? Is it happening in your group? Is it happening in your circle? Come on now, is it happening in your tribe? We want you to post it up. Imani found. You know what I'm saying? Imani in action. Hashtag Imani in action. Also, family, for those that don't speak the language, Imani means faith. Imani means faith. Harmony is the demonic principle of the day. Trust is what we teach the children, the M7. Red is the color of the day. Gender is the Hermetic law. Male name for the day is Quasi. Female name is Akasua. So we got Quasi and Akasua. We raise up our glass to the present moment. And we say Ashe. From there, family, we move to our future generations. Move to our children's children, on to infinity. And we raise our glass and we toast them in advance. We toast them in advance. We keep our pledge because we're working hard to make sure that they have a place to build their monuments to greatness, right? So we lift up our glass and we salute those children in advance. And we say Ashe. From there, family, we move to all of our relations. We lift up our glass and we toast all of our relations. And from all of our relations, we do our selfish libation. That toast. This for you. What is it that you need? What is it that you need in this moment, family, to move towards your greater self? We lift it up and we say, Ashe. From their family, last but not least, I want to toast the most magnificent, marvelous, uplifting, outstanding, beautiful, brave, bold, motivational, motivated, most motivated individual in the room. And I toast and raise my glass to you. That's you. Don't be shy. Go on, take it. Take it, yeah. We lifting it up for you, and we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, and joy in 100 years. Let me go and drink this up. Then we'll get to our conversation, family. Lines are open, 614-556-4535. Once again, lines are open, 614-556-4535. 556-4535. Just in case Kwame is out there, I am looking at the chat for my Spreaker. Let me go on and call in line 614-556-4535. Also, let me do it on here. Call in. Line open. 614-556-4535. Pow! All right, we sent it out. It's out there in the ether. So I will talk a little bit until somebody call in. If nobody call in, that's all cool too. You already know how Brother Tim get down, right? You know what I'm saying? I really appreciated all the family that called in yesterday. Had a real good conversation. All right, so let me go on and go through the Geometry Journey timeline. Now, hopefully y'all got. Oh snap! I didn't post it up. All right, because the newsletter is out. I did post it up. What's wrong with me? So let's go and post up the newsletter. We're gonna post up the newsletter while we wait for people to tune in. Let me go. You can actually get it on Geometry Journey. Geometry Journey. Go to geometryjourney.com, and there it is. Boom! It's the first article. All right, so let me go on and share that with the fam. I'm gonna post it up because I forgot to post it up. You know, fighting is hunger. You know, be copy. Let's take it over. Let's post it up in Geometry Journey. I don't know how to post up new on here. Alright, let me go. Alright, here, hold on. I'm gonna get it up. I promise, I'm gonna get it up. So while we're waiting to post that up, I can't do two things at once, so I better just go and focus on posting this up. Let's go on Geometry Journey. Oh man, it's Yolanda's birthday. I thought it was yesterday. I thought she was born on this. Anyway, well, happy birthday, old lady. If you out there, happy birthday to my daughter Yolanda. Yep. I think she's 40 now. Wow, I'm getting old. And so are you. All right. Felt good. Let me see. Lord have mercy. Just go home. Here we go. I promise I'm almost there, family. I'm almost there. I just wanna post this up, then we gonna talk. Because it wouldn't be fair for me to be asking y'all about the newsletter and y'all ain't never seen it. Paste. Boom. There we go. Share now. Oh shit, I could have shared that on Instagram. That was stupid. Alright, hold on. Let me go and erase this real quick. I'm just gonna experiment. Delete. I'm gonna delete that post. I'm gonna delete it. I just wanna see something real quick. Sorry, family. We're gonna try it again. Wow. Won't let me. Okay. All right. There we go. Boom. All right. So it's back up. All right. So go and check out the newsletter. Let us know what you think. Of course, it's a work in progress, and we get better every month. And thinking about adding some. I mean, like I said, after I get done with my conversation, after, you know what I'm saying, I told y'all Giambi Journey is about to go through some changes. At least the media, the media direct piece that we're doing right here, right? So after I get done with those conversations, I will let y'all know, you know, because I'm telling y'all right now, it's about to go down. All right, so hold on. Let's go to the news. Let's go to our articles. All right. Come on, Who's Sweet. You got to keep up. Y'all just posted something on here. I mean, come on now. Who's Sweet moving on slow? All right, so this morning, the reason I'm up doing this early is that the Tawi Family Village is having their per onk. And I'm going to try to go over there and be as useful as I possibly can and get out of there before they start eating in my face. You know what I'm saying? As they say, beat a hasty retreat, you know, right after the message. But please join us for Per Aunt. It's Imani, June 9th. That's today, 2019 at 11:30 a.m. The subject will be Power of Family. The Sabiat given by Nation Builder Rhoda Abdul Mateen. Location at 1409 East Livingston Avenue. Once again, that's 1409 East Livingston. Please bring a covered dish so that we can break bread together. Looking forward to seeing you there. All right. So I will see. Hopefully, I will see some of y'all there. I will be there this morning. That's why I'm up here doing this early, right? Because, you know, I supposed to be getting sleep. What the hell just happened here? Oh, it took me to my Twitter page. Come on now. Take me back to Giambi Journey. Maybe I need to start tuning in to it. All right, cool. Newsletter up. All right, family. Now, with the newsletter, you can expand it, and you can also download the PDF if it makes it easier for you to read it. But it has the flip page, so you can go on and you click on and make the page, and at the bottom is arrows. You can make the page bigger so that you can see the whole thing rather than just seeing part of it. All right. And like I said, we're still working on it. I'm gonna get it down to a science, so don't worry about that. I think Gina tried to take over the show, but I was a little bit too quick for her, and so she just left it on. Brother Renee, once again, Brother Renee Trigg, shouts out. He got up there, did his thing, graduated, and you know he had been letting us know that was one of his goals for a while. And it's a great thing when you witness somebody accomplish their goals, right? Yeah, to my aunties, I'm all right. I'm just fasting right now, so I'm be cool. I'm not sleepy. I was kind of in a daze, really, to be honest. I'm in a daze. So here we go. Asteroid supposedly the size of a football field that people are freaking out about. Don't sweat it. There's another threat to take your mind off anything serious, get you into a fear mode where nothing gets done. Let's keep that in mind, family. So you're going to be hearing about all these emergencies and all these. Come on now. Don't be falling for the okie doke. Don't do it. All right? Just like this one. U.S. Commander says American forces face imminent threat from Iran. Were they at the doorstep of America? You know, are they? Hey, Cleveland. Check them clothes and make sure they dry. Yes, sir. You know, is it you know what I'm saying? Is imminent means it's going to happen, right? So now the question is, and this is from NBC News, right? The question is, are they at the doorstep of America ready to break in? Are they dry? Yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure the dryer work. All right, we'll take them out and put the clothes in the washer into the dryer, sir. Okay. Real life here, Giambi Journey. So You know, so it's an imminent threat. Where the imminent threat at? I want y'all to read. Let's read this and let's talk about the fuckery that's going on right before our eyes. It's just like abracadabra. You don't see that's abracadabra, right? Some bullshit. Look, now, and you know the whole major purpose is to get you unfocused, to get you all balanced. And then on top of that, what happens with a war is that there's this bloodlust that comes up within the people, and everything else pales in comparison to the fervor for the American way. We want, you know what I'm saying, boom, boom, boom. People get hyped about this whole war thing. And the piece that I want y'all to understand is that we can't allow anything to supersede our cause for reparations, our call for what we need for our people. You know what I'm saying? We can't give a damn about a war. Can't give a damn about any of that. You know what I'm saying? Because they will always try to find a way to tap into this hero aspect that we have, where we feel that it's our responsibility to carry and be the sacrifice for this country. Come on now. We can't keep falling for the same hustle. Please. All right, so Baghdad. The top commander of U.S. forces in the Middle East says he believes that the Iranians or their proxy may orchestrate an attack at any moment. So he in the Middle East. He in the Middle East. He ain't in America, right? He's on somebody else's territory and somebody else's beef, talking about he feels that these people, you know what I'm saying? This sort of like you being posted up and at a friend's house, and you know that they got beef with the neighbors, right? And it's like rather than you going home minding your business, especially if it don't necessarily have anything to do with you, you want to sit right there and become part of the beef. You know what I'm saying? This is high school shit. This ain't even high school shit. This is like junior high. I think the threat is imminent. Marine General Frank McKenzie said in an exclusive broadcast interview with NBC News in the Iraqi capital. We continue to evaluate our forces' posture in the region. First off, y'all destabilized Iraq, which was your major buffer between Iran and the rest of the world, goddammit. Now you sitting in Iraq, which is totally fucked up, and you wondering if somebody's an imminent threat. Yeah. Because they have desires in the Middle East, just like we have desires in the North American continent, North and South American continent, because y'all down there tearing shit up down in South America. Come on now. Exclusive broadcast interview with NBC in the Iraqi capital. We continue to evaluate our forces' posture in the region. The U.S. has beefed up its military presence in the region in an effort to deter Iran and protect American forces and allies. Well, if the American forces wouldn't know, they wouldn't have to protect them, and then shouldn't the allies have some type of military protection anyway? I mean, you can't have a country if you don't have military protection, unless you're Switzerland. I'm just saying. Over the last month, the Trump administration announced that it was sending an aircraft carrier strike group and Air Force bombers to the Middle East, as well as Patriot missiles and additional troops amid heightened concerns of our Iranian attack. Y'all don't see the smoke screen. I'm going to stop. Because you don't see the smoke screen, I'm wasting my breath. It's just a smoke screen. You in somebody else's business, and now you concerned about how they reacting to you being in their business. Mind your own business, goddammit. And that's been the issue with especially with American white folk. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just think y'all could just interfere with people's shit and it ain't supposed to be no blowback. Yeah, you interfered with the whole. You've been interfering with the Middle East for a long time. You talk about liberty and justice, but then you support Saudi Arabia, the dirtiest motherfuckers on the planet. I mean, literally the dirtiest. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and what's incredible about it, regardless of whether you believe that the 911 thing happened or whether it happened or not, the majority of the people, if not all of them, that was involved with this plot, if there was a plot, was all from Saudi Arabia. Give me a break. You know what I'm saying? So we pay them money, and they turn around and use the money against the foolishness. I don't understand. And we support them. And there's other places where we can actually get, or better yet, why don't we start looking at renewable resources? You know what I'm saying? I mean, see, because they constantly talk about national security, right? But national security is based on energy production. If all of our energy, if the major energy is being produced in another country, then our national security is always at risk. Why not invest money into research that will eventually produce results where we are able to become totally an independent energy producing country, so we don't have to rely on oil from Saudi Arabia, so we don't have to support their fuckery. You know what I'm saying? They still chopping motherfuckers' hands off for stealing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like it's like they just rich and backwards and shit. I mean, because they got money, because they got all this oil, they able to do whatever the fuck they want to do. They backward as fuck. Come on now. I mean, they just now letting women drive. I know some of them bad drivers, but some of them pretty good. Not all women is bad. Not all men are good drivers. But goddamn, they just now allowing women to drive. You know what I'm saying? And they still got to keep all that shit on. Come on, man. So this whole beef is about protecting an area that if we was to really invest in our technology here, really invest in our young people coming up, we wouldn't even need that. You know what I'm saying? We have markets and industries collapsing over here, but yet we're trying to protect something over there when we could become totally self-sufficient right here in this country with all of the technology that we have, and being able to harness the sun and to harness wind and to harness geothermal and to, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Come on now. It's foolishness. But hey, you know, Elder Robert Farmer said, I suppose they have weapons of mass destruction. What possible threat could they be to the U.S.? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? All right, Columbus attorney wants to keep more nonviolent offenders out of jail. Thank you. Thank you. And you know the only reason why they doing that, right? Brother Kwame say, great Imani fam, make it a great day. You as well. You know the only reason they doing that. Because they running out. They ran out of space. That's a damn shame. They ran out of space. It's becoming too expensive to hold my people for absolutely nothing. Columbus City attorney wants to keep more nonviolent offenders out of jail. Congratulations. I'm glad y'all finally came to that point. Shaka got a picture of him and his family on the thing. Let me see what else. What reparation for slavery might look like in 2019. So now I'm gonna go through this and then I'm gonna get up off of here. But what I want to say is this, family. Another trap that I believe is being laid is for those that oppose reparations to talk about reparations from a standpoint of a 1 year or a one-time fix, when reparations needs to be a generational piece. Remember, we are in generational warfare, okay? So we can't just expect everything to be fixed by them dropping a load of money on you, right? By them dropping resources on you and open up. No, this has to be a generational thing, because slavery was generational, right? You don't just stab a motherfucker and then pull a knife out and put a Band-Aid on it and expect for it to be healing. And what people are talking, the way they're talking about reparations, is a Band-Aid rather than a true remedy for healing. You know what I'm saying? When you deal with a wound, you have to cleanse the wound. You know what I'm saying? You got to get all of the false shit out of it that ain't supposed to be in there, right? Then you have to wrap it tight, and you have to nurse it for a little while until the healing process starts. Once the healing process starts, that takes time, and you need to give your body time so that it can heal. Then after that, it will be once again part of the regular body, so you will be able to move it around as usual. Now, we have not been allowed to go through that, right? What reparations for slavery might look like in 2019. Now, I'm praying that they're talking about a generational plan, but just in case, I just want y'all to know the hustles that's going on. The idea of economic amends for past injustice and persistent disparities is getting renewed attention. Here are some formulas for achieving the aim. If you're surprised that the issue of reparations for black Americans has taken so long to resolve, blame the president, President Andrew Johnson, the drunk. Who said that? I'm sorry. As the Civil War wound down in 1865, General William T. Sherman made the promise that would come to be known as 40 acres and a mule, redistributing a huge tract of Atlantic coastline to black Americans recently free from bondage. President Abraham Lincoln and Congress gave their approval, and soon 40,000 free men in the South had started to plant and build. Now listen to that. Listen to that. Within months of Lincoln's assassination, though President Johnson rescinded the order and returned the land to its former owners, Congress made another attempt at compensation, but Johnson vetoed it. The drunk. This was a motherfucker that was documented as a drunk. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. I'm just saying. I'm just, the drunk. Now, in the early phase of 2020, President campaigned the question of compensating black Americans for suffering under slavery. See, because at one point in time, some people in America wanted to make it right because they understood. Look, I want you to think about this. You go to war with one side of your country. They basically trade. That's them traitors. Confederates are traitors. I mean, really, when you think about it, there's no other way that you can actually rationalize this. So why would you give the traitors the means to compete in the way that they had before? They're traitors, right? So all that land, all that shit down south should have been forfeited over to black folks. And 40,000, how many acres? He said 40,000 freedmen was given good land in the, Atlantic coastline. I mean, I want y'all to think about the value of that alone. So now, not only did they gave it to him, then it was snatched back because the president was a drunk, and I'm understanding a coward, but I wasn't there. I don't know, right? Now, in the early phase of 2020 presidential campaign, the question of compensating black Americans for suffering under slavery and other forms of racial injustice has resurfaced. The current effort focuses on a congressional bill that would commission a study on reparations, a version of legislation first introduced in 1989. Several Democratic president hopefuls have declared their support, including Senator Kamala Harris of California, Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, and Cory Booker of New Jersey, and former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro. If the latest revival has excited supporters, it has worried some party moderates who fear that such an effort would alienate many voters. Polls have shown a big deficit in popular support. While a majority of black Americans in 2016 Mars poll supported reparations, whites rejected it by an overwhelming margin. Once again, this goes back to why I call us the stubborn minority. Family, I'm going to post up another article on the stubborn minority and the power of a stubborn minority. Because I need y'all to really start understanding and embracing this concept. Because it's the stubborn minority that is able to change the world, is able to change things that are going around them. We don't need everybody's vote. We just need to be that stubborn minority that everybody else got to work around. That's it. That's it. Because then it becomes simpler. It is simpler to service that minority, right? Than to lose, in a sense, their business or lose their votes or lose whatever you need from them. When you can shape a decision that works for the stubborn minority as well as the entire collective. Right? For example, peanuts on the airplane. Now, everybody's not allergic to peanuts. I like peanuts, goddammit. I want peanuts on the plane. But you know what? I can do without peanuts on the plane. Why did they take peanuts off the plane? Because a minority was allergic to it. So in order to service everybody, it was simpler for them to take the peanuts off the plane to prevent somebody from having a total flare-up. You know what I'm saying? So they took the peanuts off the plane and was able to service the stubborn minority as well as the total group, because you will not die if you do not have peanuts on the plane. What's wrong with you?
I'm hungry.
Girls, all that food up in there.
I was giving me some cereal, but there's no more spoons.
Did you look in the dishwasher?
Yes.
What you mean there's no more spoons? Already ain't in the sink?
No.
Oh, obviously you didn't look. Real life here, Jamie Journey. So anyway, what was I? Oh, same thing with kosher drinks. How many of y'all know that majority of the soft drinks that you're drinking are kosher? Stubborn minority, right? Either they could lose their business totally, or they can include their business with yours because you don't even know that you're drinking a kosher drink. You know what I'm saying? So the stubborn minority can always win. I mean, they'll shape stuff around you, and the majority of people won't even know what's happening. And that's what we are. We have a chance to be stubborn. We are the stubborn minority, and it's going to be shaped around us and benefit us. And most people ain't even going to even know what's going on. Mark my words. If the latest revival has excited supporters, it has worried some party moderates who fear that much an effort would alienate many voters. Polls have shown a big deficit in popular support. While a majority of black Americans in the 2016 Marist poll supported reparations, whites rejected it by an overwhelming margin. Please tell us the margin. For more coverage of race, sign up here to have our race-related newsletter delivered weekly to your inbox. Let me sign up for that race-related thing there. Race-related newsletter. Why the hell not? Subscribe. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. $2 a week? Nah, dog. All right. All right, let's go back. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. The reparation issue raises profound moral and social and political consideration. Still, the economic nuts and bolts of such a program have gotten scant public attention. Who would be paid? How much? Where would the money come from? We already got all those answers. Now, motherfuckers, this is the part where anybody that been into a money situation, this is where motherfuckers play ignorant. You know what I'm saying? You know, so to kind of slow it down. You know, and you about to get your money, and they get stupid. They forget stuff all of a sudden. You got to remind them. You know what I'm saying? Shake them down. Through the decades, a handful of scholars have taken a shot at creating a roadmap. Here's what has to be reckoned with. What's the economic rationale? When James Foreman, a civil rights pioneer who later served briefly as the Black Panther Party's foreign minister, demanded $500 million reparations in his 1969 Black Manifesto, he grounded his argument in the indisputable fact unpaid slave labor helped build the American economy, creating vast wealth that African Americans were barred from sharing. Oh, so true. The manifesto called for white Christian churches and Jewish synagogues to pay for projects like a black university and a southern land bank. We have helped to build the most industrial country in the world. It declared at the same time that racist white America has exploited our resources, our minds, our bodies, our labor. Another civil rights leader, Barrett Rustin, responded, if my great-grandfather picked cotton for 50 years, then he may deserve some money. But he's dead and gone and nobody owes me anything. Okay. You don't have to participate, Beard. I know you're dead already, so, all right. And we got to understand, that's the mentality of trying to fit in to what America wanted. We got to understand this because a lot of people got rebellious because they wasn't included in the total American life. So I just want to be American. My grandfather picked for 50 years. That's his business. Y'all don't owe me nothing. Fuck that. I'm just Brother Hatim is saying that. Fuck that. Fuck you, pay me. Right? Exactly. And I'll make sure I'm able to build a monument to my ancestors. They ain't leave us enough dough to build monuments to our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, boom, that shit right there, he could miss me with that, right? I think he was dating a white boy or something anyway, but that's neither here nor there. He did great work, all right, Barrett? But don't, let me go on. The question of reparation, however, extended far beyond the roughly 4 million people who were enslaved when the Civil War started. If they would have took care of business right after the Civil War, as an anti-smart, I don't even see the strategy. You know what I'm saying? I don't even see. I am perplexed by the strategy that President Johnson used. Was it Johnson? That he used. Why would you give a group of individuals that y'all just got done fighting with access to the same resources that they used to build up enough force to fight you with in the first fucking place? I don't understand that. Y'all should just pay us for that dumb decision. That was dumb. That catapulted our country into this whole cycle of this shit that we're going through right now. He need to be stripped. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know how they had a Hall of Fame and they found out you was doing some dumb shit and they go back in the Hall of Fame and they just put an asterisk by your name? We need to put an asterisk by his name forever. Every time somebody look at that, why does he have an asterisk? It said he was a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? We need to put an asterisk by his name as a country. We all should be able to agree on that. Possibly not, The question of reparation, huh?
Tomorrow camping.
Tomorrow you go to camp. No, you're not camping. It's called a summer camp. That's too much cereal, by the way. The question, real life here, Jeremy Journey, sorry. The question of reparation, however, extends far beyond the roughly 4 million people who were enslaved when the Civil War started, as Ta-Nehisi Coates explained in an influential essay published in The Atlantic in 2014. Legalized discrimination and state-sanctioned brutality, murder, dispossession, and disenfranchisement continued long after the war ended. That history profoundly handicapped black Americans' ability to create and accumulate wealth, as well as to gain access to jobs, housing, education, and health care. For every dollar a typical white household, a black one has 10 cents. So let me read that again. For every dollar a typical white household holds, a black one has 10 cents. It is this cumulative effect. Cumulative, that means it built up over time. Not no, see, because once again, difference between salary and good credit and wealth and good credit. All right? Difference between salary and good credit and wealth. We don't even have to put credit over there. And wealth is a difference. Black folks, and please understand the difference. Explain the influential essay. Legalize discrimination. History profoundly handicapped black Americans' ability to create and accumulate wealth, as well as to gain access to jobs, housing, education, and health care. All right, I already read that. For every dollar a typical white household holds, a black one has 10 cents. It is this cumulative effect that justifies the payments of reparations descendants of slaves long dead, supporters say. What was it at? I missed it. Equality is not likely to be attained. This thing is messing up. Equality is not likely to be obtained without some form. Oh my God. Equality is without some form of reparations. David Answeeton, an economist and former president of... It's jumping up. Okay, there you go. An economist and former president of Benedict College wrote in 1990, collection, The Wealth of Races. Who will be paid? Nearly 47 million Americans identify themselves as black or African American in the latest census. A vast majority are descended from slaves, but others are more recent migrants. So who would qualify for this payment? Listen up, family. William A. Darity Jr., an economist at Duke University and a leading scholar of reparations, suggests two qualifying conditions: having at least one ancestor who was enslaved in the United States and having identified oneself as an African American on a legal document for at least a decade before the approval of any reparations. The 10-year rule, he said, will help screen out anyone trying to cash in on a windfall. According to the criteria, Oprah Winfrey, who has traced her DNA to slaves captured in West Africa in the early 19th century, will qualify. Former President Barack Obama, the son of a white American mother and a Kenyan father, would not. They say might not. Would not. Mr. Darity estimates that roughly 30 million Americans will be eligible. Tracing genealogy back to the slave-owning era is difficult, but the search begins by comparing the 1870 census, when free slaves were first counted by name, with the one taken in 1860, when they weren't. Other sources include military service and pension records, slave ship manifests, and estate inheritance documents. As for taking account of current wealth, the reparation program will link potential payouts to income and asset levels. Say that again. As for taking account for current wealth, a reparation program could link potential payouts to income and assets levels. Asset. How would recipients get? Attaching a dollar figure to a program of reparations resembles a wheel of fortune, spin with the amount ranging from the piddling $71.08 per recipient under Foreman's plan. Fuck that. To the astronomical 17 trillion in total over the decades, and we take payments, family. That's what I'm saying. This is a generational thing. We take payments. We can't settle for no small amount just so that some of y'all can make some of these payments and go out and purchase some of this ridiculous shit. We need to make sure it's some money coming in for a couple of generations. I'm just saying, because you know some of y'all be buying some dumb shit. Me included, right? Over the decades, some economists have tried to come up with a quantifiable basis for a fair sum. Mr. Swinton, for example, estimated in 1983 that 40 to 60% of the difference between black and white income could be attributed to the past and continued discrimination, and put the figure at 500 billion. Some economists evaluated labor's share of slave system profits in the cotton and tobacco. Others have looked at what slaves would have earned if they had been paid wages plus interest, after subtracting housing and food costs. One study looked at the 20th century statistics, estimating how much less blacks earned because of decades of discrimination. Another examined the value of black wealth lost or destroyed after slavery ended through practices like redlining that denied lending or insurance to African American communities, or organized riots like the 1921 rampage that leveled the Greenwood neighborhood of Tulsa known as Black Wall Street. A recurring theme has been to return to that first official action promise of 40 acres and a mule. General Sherman drew up an order after posing this directive to a group of black ministers and leaders. State in what manner you think you can take care of yourselves. What would Sherman promise be worth today? Here we go. Mr. Darity has been mulling that question for years and is writing a book on reparations with Kirsten Mullen, due out next year. He begins with the cost of an acre in 1865, about $10. 40 acres divided among a family of 4 comes to 10 acres per person, or about $100 for each of the 4 million former slaves. Taking account of compounding interest and inflation, Mr. Derry has put the present value at $2.6 trillion, assuming roughly 30 million descendants of ex-slaves. He concluded it worked out to be about $80,000 per person. To get a sense of the scale, consider that the United States budget this year is $4.7 trillion. Of course, varying any critical assumption can add or subtract billions or trillions of dollars. Thomas Kramer, an associate professor of public policy at the University of Connecticut, used the same starting point, 40 acres and a mule, but a different method in a study published last year. He used the current average price of agricultural land and figured that 40 acres of farmland and buildings would amount to roughly $123,000 if all of the 4 million slaves counted in the 1860 census had been able to take advantage of that offer. It would have totaled more than $486 billion today, or about $16,200 for each descendant of a slave. What form would payment take? Compensation programs could take many forms in the United States. After a congressional study, people of Japanese descent who were forced into internment camps during World War II received $20,000 in 1988 and a formal apology. Since 1952, Germany has paid more than $70 billion. And I just told y'all about a case right now where Germany is being sued for reparations by Greece and it's 2 countries, and it equals out to $2 trillion. Victims of the Nazi regiment, and continues to deliver hundreds of millions of dollars each year. Payment varied from lump sum distributed to individuals to a monthly pension based on years working in the slave labor camp. Money is also given to organizations to cover home care for older survivors or for grants. A small portion goes to research and documentation. And listen, America, y'all don't have to get worried. We could spread out the 17 trillion over 30 years, 40 years. You know what I'm saying? You know, come on now. We could work. You know what I'm saying? Let us reason together, right? Rather than you getting all caught up in your emotions and shit, right? Let us reason. A reparations program in the United States could likewise adopt a single method or several at once. Families could get a one-time check, receive vouchers for medical insurance or college, or have access to a trust fund to finance a business or a home. Mr. Darity argues that for both substantive and symbolic reasons, some important components must be direct payment to eligible recipients. Other scholars have emphasized different features. Roy L. Brooks, a law professor at the University of San Diego and the author of Atonement and Forgiveness, a new model for black reparations, has reservations about what he calls the settlement model, a legalistic approach that looks backwards to compensate victims for demonstrable financial losses. He prefers what he calls the atonement model, emphasizing longer-term investments in education, housing, and businesses that build up wealth. What would the economic impact be? Well, it would be terrible if you did it all in 1 year, assholes. I mean, this is not that complicated. It's really not. Let me check. All right, I'm about to get up off of here. What would the economic impact be? According to the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, the median wealth of black household is $16,000, compared with $163,000 for whites. Reparations are not likely to eliminate the racial wealth gap, but could narrow it somewhat. Low-income families with the fewest assets will benefit the most. The biggest economic objection is that any meaningful program will be unaffordable. Like other government spending, reparations would ultimately be paid for by some kind of tax or fee or borrowing, say through government bonds. Such a program would almost certainly require increasing the federal debt and be structured over time. Those less worried about a growing deficit could argue that reparations will be a boon over the long run, lifting people out of poverty and improving their earning potential and buying power. Correction, May 28, 2019. An earlier version of this article referred in precisely to former President Barack Obama eligibility for compensation. Mr. Obama could qualify for a reparations program based on his maternal ancestry. It has not been determined that he won't qualify. I don't understand that. He won't qualify. Alright, I know some of y'all, y'all gonna be mad at me for saying, leave Obama alone. But come on now. Come on now. Alright, listen. I am out. This is Brother Tim. I want to thank y'all. Whether you call in or not, I love you. And I am out. It's been a great Imani. I'm about to get ready to get over here so that I could check in at this per hour while I still got some energy because I'm feeling good right now. So I'm out. Peace. Cut off the phone lines first. Then I'm going to cut off Facebook,